Now, Minister-designate for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Dapaah, says the government's promise to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa is still on course. The issue of Accra's cleanliness has become a subject of debate after President Akufo-Addo made the pledge in 2017.
2017, His Excellency the President of the Republic promised to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Almost 4 years into this promise, Honorable nominee, can we say, or can you say, that Accra today is the cleanest city in Africa?
Mr. Chairman, Accra is on course to become the cleanest city that the President gave in absolute terms. I think we are on course, looking at what we started doing and what I continue from my colleague.
Well, when she took her turn at the Appointments Committee today, the former Bantama MP said the government has rolled out a series of interventions, including the provision of toilet facilities to 33,000 households, among others, to achieve that target. She said this when she appeared before the committee a while ago.
It's an all-inclusive process. It entails a lot of work, and we know that when you start a process, it takes time to yield results. There are low-hanging fruits, like the initiative we took to provide bins for littering to stop so that people can put their litter in. That is one. And most important of all, we've also, through the Gamma project, provided 33,000 household toilets. That is also part of the cleaning or cleanliness process that we have undertaken. We also have another project, the Garrett project, that is coming on to make sure the dam sites are covered, and then most importantly, the Odor River is also worked on. We also have the gas slip project that is also taking care of the vulnerable areas and the unplanned settlements to give them, again, about 5,000 places of convenience, and also to help in the removal of their waste. So apart from the franchises given by the MMDs to local contractors to work in, I believe we see a market.
Well, let's get on the phone now and talk to Atta Ahin, who's chairman of CONIWAS, and he joins us with his thoughts so far. Mr. Atta, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm sure that you've heard the minister-designate in his thoughts about the project we're embarking on, making Accra clean.
Yes, I've heard it.
He insists that it's on course. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. Let me say that when you say that it's on course, Accra becoming the cleanest city in Africa was supposed to end December 2020. So that in itself tells us that we are unable to achieve that. And we are unable to achieve that because we haven't put in place the necessary measures to be able to do that. First of all, we haven't increased resources to the sector. Law enforcement in the sector is weak. Infrastructure has not been developed. Public education is weak, among others. But I think what we can credit the minister for has been her drive towards, awareness. And if you have followed, trips, she's basically been doing sensitization and ensuring that MMDAs are doing basic things. She's also been able to attract some public sector participation into the sanitation subsector. And that is where she mentioned the provision of bins. You remember the salt cutting and the inauguration of some waste recycling facilities, in partnership with Zoom Lion particularly. Then also the restructuring of the rural and small town water subsector. where CWSA is going professional and trying to ensure that we no more rely on voluntarism to sustain community infrastructure. These are what I think the minister has done well. What I think she should, if she's giving the nod, strengthen, will be the institutional arrangements for improved sanitation, for example. When you come to the ministry, every ministry has the policy formulation unit, and then when you finish the policies, you have structures, agencies, which will take those policies and implement them at the metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly level. We don't have that in sanitation. So right from the ministry, you go down to the MMDA. It doesn't work like that. And that's why I think she should prioritize the establishment of the National Sanitation Authority, which will make her work much easier for her, together with the National Sanitation Fund. I think she should also push for increased financing for wash services delivery. I can tell you on authority that within these few years, the rural subsector has suffered, and there's been virtually no investment into the subsector. And that is why many communities still lack access to water, for example, and sanitation has not been any different. I think that she needs to increase the visibility of the ministry so that people will understand what the ministry stands for and its mandate. But overall, I think that there should be effective engagement with sector players. For me, that has been the Honorable Minister's maybe biggest failure. We have agencies, stakeholders with capacity in the sector, whom, when engaged, will be able to support her drive towards improved water and sanitation. But for me, she hasn't been able to carry along these sector players. And then finally, I think the ministry is set up in a way that does not allow it to deliver on its own, and rightly so. And so I think the minister should be able to work with other ministries, relevant ministries, such as the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. This ministry is key, and so far, it doesn't appear that the ministry has been able to engage these very relevant agencies to be able to prosecute its agenda. On its own, it will be difficult for the ministry to achieve the objectives that have been set for her, for it. And I think it needs to work together with other ministries.
Well, I'll have you hang on while I play another of the things that she's been saying today in justifying why we should keep her there. She's revealing that government has resolved to incinerate solid waste to deal with the tons of waste that are generated, or that is generated across the major cities. Listen.
Solution to our waste is to make sure we incinerate our waste, we recycle our waste, we do material recovery, and also do other. I always say that waste is wealth. It depends on how it is tackled. I have met those who do the sorting. They recover materials from there, and then those that are not easily recycled, we need to put them somewhere for the long-term incineration and make sure we recover as much as we can before that process.
Dealing with the waste issue and how she intends to deal with this, does it make sense to you, or does it fit in the expectations that you've just listed when it comes to delivering on those achievables? Hello,
material recovery site. Incineration, I'm not too sure, but material recovery sites, yes, recycling, composting. This is the way to go. And she herself mentioned that waste is wealth. I mean, these are slogans that are well known across the world. All we need to do is to move away from the talk to action. Right. What practical steps are we putting in place to ensure that we recycle the waste, we do composting, we are able to recover materials? These are very important steps to take, and I believe that with her partnership with private sector, she should be able to get this done. And when this is done, I think that Ghana will become cleaner than we are seeing it today.
Ms. Atta, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I've been talking to Atta Ahin. He is the chairperson of the Coalition of NGOs in Water and Sanitation, as CONIWAS. You've heard him there. He says a lot more engagement with people who are already within the wash sector will help a great deal the minister to deliver on her mandate.